So our sutra for this week is Sutra 140, and yes, we're back every week. Teacher training makes me very busy, so we're back. Paramanu, Paramamahatva, Anta Asya Vasikaraha. Gradually, one's mastery and concentration extends from the primal atom to the greatest magnitude. So, in yoga we talk a lot about from gross to subtle. This idea of starting very big, we're in the body and we're peeling the layers down to the subtleties of who and what we are. And, eventually what that does though is it allows us to then find that dharana, that single focus, and go so far inside that the journey gets so big. It's, the idea of dharana and dhyana and then samadhi, right? Dharana, this single focus, this something that I'm choosing, this intention, this one pointedness is then gonna open me into my meditation. And then what? Then wherever that meditation takes me or is supposed to take me for that given day. And that journey can be so big, especially as we start to, peel the layers into the mind and the subtleties of the mind and what that means and what we're honestly capable of. I think it's quite extraordinary, truly. But we're going to do one more. I love this sutra because it goes right along with that same idea. 41. Kshina vritir abhijatasya iva maner grahitri grahana graheshu tatsta taranjanata samapatti. Just as the natural pure crystal assumes shapes and colors of the objects placed near it, so the yogi's mind with its totally weakened modifications becomes clear and balanced and attains the state devoid of differentiation between knower, knowable, and knowledge. This culmination of meditation is samadhi. So, we start with this dharana and it leads us into our dhyana and then finally into this space of this amazingly clear, clean thought of all of the facets of who and what we honestly are. It says, the mind of a yogi with its totally weakened modifications means that the yogi has cultivated one thought form at the cost of all others. When you cultivate one alone, all the other impressions become weaker and finer. So, again, it's almost as if in our practice, I think for most people, because it starts in asana, we're coming from the gross to the subtle, then from the subtle, not to the gross, but to the infinite subtleties of our minds and our spirits and what that means and how we define soulfulness and how we define spirit and the capabilities of the mind. I think for a fairly beginning practitioner, what's really important to pay attention to is to just remember that sitting with a single focus, sitting with intention, that is where it all begins. And to sit every day for 5 minutes makes such a huge difference in the way that we perceive the day and in the way that we walk in the world and make our decisions and choices on that day, because we've taken the time to calm the mind, we've taken the time to settle a little. Really important when we're so busy and the mind is so full of chitta vritti, the mind is so full of spinning. All of this is amazing and the idea of this is amazing, and I think what it really needs to say to us, especially as, maybe beginning intermediate practitioners, even advanced practitioners, is that the possibilities are endless, that we never get to the point where we get to say, oh, I've mastered meditation, or I've mastered yoga. I think we're pretty screwed when we do that, because that leaves us no room to continue to explore and no room for that continued wanting of knowledge, more soulfulness, more compassion, more spiritual openness, more awareness, more life, prana through every space of us. So sit, pick something It doesn't even matter what that something is. And that's what all of those other sutras were about. Pick something, anything, and let it take all of your attention. And from that attention, we find intention, and from intention, we move into that soulful purpose of that meditation, that journey for that day. Always different, always. All right, Shanti.